Breaking news, a federal official now says the deadly Aliso Viejo explosion was intentional and may have been a package bomb. The CBS2 News team is here, and the medical building blast is our top story. 3 other people were hurt, and it sent many children scrambling to safety. CBS 2's Tom Wade is live in Aliso Viejo with the very latest. Tom.
And Pat, as you said, a very frightening scene out here. And now we know that this case is taking a very sinister turn. Take a live look out here. Federal investigators, along with local law enforcement, still here. They are just swarming this building, combing it for clues and evidence as they try to figure out who may have sent this package bomb. Chilling images from inside the blast zone show the ceiling and walls caving in and debris everywhere. The AP reports investigators believe this was all caused by an explosive contained in a package. It's not clear if the woman who opened it is the one who died. Smoke can be seen pouring out of the building in this cell phone video shot in the immediate aftermath. All of this unfolded just after 1 this afternoon at 11 Marablu in Aliso Viejo. In addition to the woman killed, 3 others were taken to the hospital. A witness says this is a photo showing the injured women before they were taken to the hospital.
And saw 2 women come out full of blood, hair singed, just glass stuck to their hair, glass stuck to their bodies. Their skin was burnt and peeled back.
People in buildings next door and across the street felt and heard the blast.
Waiting for the doctor, and there was an explosion, and it kind of shook the ground. Boom! And I kind of my neck jolted and hit the wall.
I was ironically like in an anxiety group when it took place, and it was right up in that corner, and we heard a big explosion. It shook the whole entire building.
Dozens of children at a preschool and daycare across the street hunkered down as law enforcement secured the area. Eventually, they were taken to a nearby Target where their worried parents were waiting.
We just saw them walk across, and I know that they couldn't get them out because of the gas leak and everything too, so we're still kind of wondering what all went wrong.
A little nervous and concerned that something else bigger was happening. I think just in this day and age with things that kind of go on, so just definitely pretty fearful, but just tried to stay calm and knew that she was in really good hands.
So as you take a live look once again at the scene with investigators here still just looking for whatever they can find to piece this together, we can tell you this was a 2-story medical building. We don't know a lot more about the practice that was inside. We are also waiting to find out more about this potential suspect. Obviously, if this was an intentional package bomb, that means that there is someone out there that sent it to this building. Reporting live in Aliso Viejo, I'm Tom Waite. Pat, back to you.
All right, thank you for that, Tom. Now breaking news in North Hollywood, where there's been a deadly shooting, and Stu Mandel is overhead to fill us in Sky 2. Stu.
That's right. A call came out of a shooting here on Cantera, right near the cross of Coldwater. When first responders arrived here on scene, they did find a victim inside that car that you see right there with gunshot wounds. He passed away here on scene. Now this is a crime scene. LAPD North Hollywood Division will be handling this with homicide investigators from LAPD. Again, this happening in a North Hollywood neighborhood. Live in Sky 2, I'm Stu Mandel. Back to you in the studio.
All right, thank you, Stu. A shooting tonight in the upscale Park La Brea area, and 2 women may have pulled the trigger. It happened in the last couple of hours on the 300 block of Burnside Avenue. When LAPD officers arrived, they found 1 man who was shot and injured. He was taken to the hospital. 2 women in a silver 4-door sedan are reportedly suspects. They are still on the loose tonight. And more breaking news. A family is devastated after a suspected street racer kills 2 young boys in Riverside County. CBS 2's Tina Patel is live at the crash scene in Paris, where all that remains are 2 candles remembering those 2 young lives. Tina.
Yeah, Pat, neighbors have been coming by over the last few hours, leaving candles and flowers. They don't know exactly who these young boys are, but they say they do recognize them from the local school and believe they live somewhere in the area. Just moments after a devastating crash, neighbors gathered around this young driver trying to help and console him.
His little brothers, they weren't breathing, so he was pretty devastated.
His 2 brothers, ages 6 and 8, were in the back seat of this blue Versa when a silver car slammed into them. Witnesses say had been racing another car down Oakwood Street at high speeds. It was only when they got over the crest of a hill that they saw the oncoming car, and there wasn't time to get out of the way.
Street racing, as everybody well knows, is very dangerous. I mean, you're driving vehicles at very high rates of speed, and in an area like this, there are children playing, there are houses lining these streets. And again, just like the incident tonight, you don't know who's coming from the other side of the street, especially with the hill right here.
The driver of the silver car did suffer minor injuries. Officers say he will be facing charges of vehicular manslaughter after he's treated, but they're still looking for the other driver involved in the alleged racing.
The black car was at the scene further down the road, and he took off moments after.
Now, that other car described as a black Nissan Altima, possibly a 2005. CHP is hoping anyone with information about that car or driver that they'll come forward. We'll send it back to you.
Tonight, a car careened 25 feet off a windy canyon road in Chatsworth. And amazingly, the woman who was driving walked away from this terrible wreck. It happened on the 23,000 block of Woolsey Canyon Road. Investigators have not said what caused the crash. And the feds arrested a longtime Glendale police officer today. They claim narcotics detective John Ballion hid ties with violent Armenian and Mexican gangs. He's accused of helping them with everything from boosting high-end cars to shaking down pot shops. He is also suspected of tipping off gangsters about planned raids. Ballion is expected in court tomorrow. Now to developing news. North Korea fired off a blistering threat to the White House late tonight, possibly backing out of the upcoming summit. CBS2 political reporter Dave Bryan is here to explain what happened, Dave.
Well, a lot of us would like to know that, Pat, to tell you the truth. One thing we can say, it really does put this summit in great jeopardy. The change in tone from Kim Jong-un is dramatic. Tonight, he canceled a scheduled meeting with South Korean officials and then threatened to drop out of the June summit with President Trump if the U.S.-South Korean military exercises continue, declaring that North Korea won't be making all the concessions and get nothing in return. Just 5 days ago, President Trump was soaking up the cheers at a rally in Indiana, confident his summit with Kim Jong-un was right on track.
Hopefully, I mean, for all of us, for the world, hopefully something very good is going to happen.
Now, North Korea is threatening to back out over combined South Korean and U.S. Air Force drills similar to this one conducted last year. Today, the North canceled a high-stakes meeting with South Korea set for tomorrow and warned the United States will also have to undertake careful deliberations about the fate of the planned North Korea-U.S. summit in light of this provocative military ruckus jointly conducted with the South Korean authorities. State Department spokeswoman Heather Nauert.
They're exercises that are legal. They're planned well in advance.
When President Trump accepted Kim's invitation to meet back in March, then CIA Director, now Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, was under the impression Kim would not object to the military drills.
He's allowed to continue our exercises on the peninsula, something that's been fought over for decades.
Last week, the president acknowledged the summit could always fall through.
Everything can be scuttled. Everything can be scuttled.
For now, the White House says it's studying Kim Jong-un's comments, and the State Department says for now it's proceeding with planning for the Trump-Kim summit, since it has heard nothing from Pyongyang or Seoul that would change that. Pat, back to you.
More than 130,000 people are in the dark after a powerful storm moved through the Northeast. Large hail damaged cars and a possible tornado was spotted. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo has declared a state of emergency. Now breaking news. There's a code red alert tonight for a lot of people living near the Kilauea Volcano. It's all unfolding on Hawaii's Big Island. And CBS 2's Elsa Ramon is live in the newsroom with an update. Elsa.
Well, Pat, code red means a major eruption from the main crater is already underway or could happen at any time. The volcano has started spewing a massive column of ash 2 miles high. People on the ground and pilots in the air are being warned to be on alert.
Liquid hot magma isn't the only thing lighting up the Big Island sky. Blue flames can be seen darting into the air, a sign that dangerous gases are being released. The USGS said if lava in the Kilauea Volcano summit drops beneath groundwater levels, the inflow of water could result in steam-driven explosions. And it warns that steam-driven ballistic projectiles, blocks measuring 6.5 feet across and weighing up to several tons could be sent flying over 3,000 feet from the summit. Smaller blocks may travel further. Geologists say an explosive eruption could send ash plumes as high as 19,000 feet. Some of the vents formed by the Kilauea volcano are now releasing extremely high levels of sulfur dioxide, which is very toxic and potentially life-threatening. At least 20 lava fissures have opened up since the eruptions began on May 3rd, destroying more than 24 homes and creating a path about 2 miles long that's heading toward the ocean.
I was looking at the living room windows.
Scott Wiggers lives in the hardest hit neighborhood, Leilani Estates. It's evacuated, but he won't leave. Instead, he's documenting what's happening for his neighbors.
All of that lava was not there. All of that lava came through in a matter of a couple hours. One of the most incredible things I've ever seen. It is just so devastating.
Pretty impactful pictures. The USGS says while ashfall may impact the other islands, depending on wind direction, it's still safe to travel to Hawaii. However, travelers should expect the possibility of air travel delays and rerouting to avoid the ash plumes. Pat, back to you.
All right, thanks for that, Elsa. Now, just 4 days ahead of the royal wedding, Meghan Markle's dad says he will not be there after all. Thomas Markle Sr. says he's having heart surgery in about 8 hours from now following a recent heart attack. No words yet on who will walk Meghan Markle down the aisle, but her mother was seen earlier today boarding a flight at LAX. Now, just minutes away, a closer look at how Meghan Markle prepared for her royal life in the San Gabriel Valley. A phony solar panel business in El Monte turned out to be a massive illegal pot operation. Police raided a warehouse on Strozier Street Monday and found 2,700 marijuana plants, a street value of more than $1 million. A neighbor who didn't want to be identified said she can't believe this was happening right next door.
It was hidden really well. I had no idea. I didn't even think that anything was going on there at all.
Investigators tell us these illegal pot operations are dangerous because they tap into the electrical infrastructure and can cause blackouts, fires, and electrocutions. Well, tonight in a CBS2 investigation, some residents of Porter Ranch say they're still getting sick more than 2 years after the Aliso Canyon gas leak. Investigative reporter David Goldstein is here, and he says the county health department is unsure about what's going on, David.
Yeah, we asked him some hard questions. You'll see in a second. Now, we found more than 1,000 reports of illnesses that could be associated with the gas leak in just the past month in Porter Ranch. So we asked a top LA County health official if residents have anything to worry about. His answer is surprising. Do you believe the people there who live around the area are safe?
It's hard to say. Safety is an unanswered question at this point.
Angelo Bellomo with the LA County Health Department says he can't reassure Porter Ranch residents that they're safe.
We have our concerns about ongoing risk at that facility.
More than 2 years ago, the SoCal gas storage facility in Aliso Canyon spewed methane gas into the air for 4 months, and some nearby residents say they're still suffering.
I've had terrible rashes and reoccurring rashes.
They described their ailments.
Blood coming up from my nose but coming inside of my throat.
This in just the past month.
I had severe stomach problem.
No one's coming to study what's happening.
And some say there could be a correlation between the symptoms and what's happening currently at the facility. This private fence line monitor measures methane concentrations in someone's backyard below the site. This graph shows the reading spiked in April, and that's when some people got sick.
You can report your symptoms.
Andrew Crown spent $20,000 of his own money to create this app where locals report what they believe are symptoms associated with a gas leak. For 5 consecutive days in April, the same days the methane monitoring spiked, his app showed more than 1,500 reported symptoms, the most since he created it last October.
You have to take this into account.
We showed the app results to Dr. Nachman Bratbar, a noted toxicologist. He says it's worthy of a public health investigation.
something is very suspicious.
Belomo admits the health department doesn't know what's coming from the facility, and he says SoCal Gas isn't helping them figure it out.
They won't allow you to put any monitoring on their property if you wanted to, in the county?
I don't think so, just based on our experience with them.
Are they being good neighbors up there for the residents?
It depends on who you talk to. I don't think so. No, they're not doing enough. That's obvious.
In a statement, SoCal Gas says all of the data collected and analyzed by public health officials over the last 2 years have shown that there was and is no long-term risk to public health or safety from the gas leak. These results were shared with members of the public. But residents say it's not just the gas company, but local and state governments that aren't helping.
Where is someone saying to not do anything about this health disaster? Who's pulling the strings?
So in the 2 years, you still, and the department still doesn't have the monitoring in place that you would like?
No,
to ensure the safety of these people.
Right.
Residents want to know what's happening to them right now and what happened to them during the blowout. A panel of health experts recommended a $35 million study, but this agency, the South Coast Air Quality Management District, designated only $1 million to be used.
Is that enough money?
No.
All of it leaves some Porter Ranch residents with even more questions and doubts about what regulators and county health officials are doing.
The only thing you can conclude is that you really are all by yourself.
Now, SoCal Gas also told us in a statement that they've been responsive to all the requests for information from the LA County Department of Health. Their full statement is on our website at cbsla.com. Pat, back to you.
All right. Seems like this is going to be an ongoing.
It has been, yeah, and it probably will be.
All right. Thanks for that, David. Well, there are new numbers to prove just how hard it is to buy a home in the Southland. According to the California Association of Realtors, the minimum household income you need in Orange County to buy a home is about $167,000. In LA County, it's a little under $113,000 a year to afford a median price home. In San Bernardino County, it drops to about $57,000 per year. Well, Garth, yeah, I've been liking this 70-ish.
You've been liking it?
Yeah.
Yeah, not bad, right?
Yeah, because the sun does come out and it's pleasant to me.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good, Pat. We missed a little bit of that marine layer today. Didn't get as thick as we thought because we had some cold air come through that kind of kills that inversion. The upper air is not that warm. It should be cooler, but when it gets warmer, kind of caps the atmosphere. We might be going through the same thing tomorrow. Nonetheless, it was a nice day. Pat's right. Boy, it just gives you spectacular evenings. Long Beach looking good. We'll get you up north. Look at that. Some souls walking the pier. Decent surf been going on. Santa Monica looking pretty good right now. 60 degrees. Winds are calm downtown. 61 San Bernardino. Looking for about 61 or so up to Victorville, Lancaster 60. That's pretty much where we're hanging. From the OC all the way up into Ventura County. Maybe just a little bit cooler up into Ventura. Boy, look at Palm Springs. 76 degrees there. Made it up to 71 today. That's 3 degrees below normal. We're caught between a couple of lows. This one about a couple hundred miles offshore. By tomorrow, it starts to move towards us. So we get these winds that are on shore. This should thicken up the marine layer a little more tomorrow. It's about a 50-50 shot of that because of the wind and because of the cold air. So we have about a 50 chance, a little bit better than 50% chance of a decent marine layer tomorrow. There's not a strong inversion again. If we get any drizzle out of this, it should be by the foothills. Then it slowly kind of makes its way out of here as we cruise Wednesday into Thursday. And then on the heels of that, some high pressure starts to roll in, and that high pressure will start to build itself in just as we get to the weekend. That will start to take the temperatures up. But the good news is it won't be anything too hot. Should be a really nice weekend. Whatever marine layer we pick up over the next couple of days will start to thin itself out. So here is the 7-day. 66 for the beaches for the next couple of days at the sand. By the weekend, we come up. Next Monday and Tuesday, we go back down for downtown 70, the valley 74. We build to the warmest around 81 to 82 Saturday and Sunday for the Inland Empire. High deserts. Mountains looking good. A little Wednesday, or a little windy Thursday and Friday, but nice beach weather as we go to the weekend. Just a nice weekend, I think, everywhere as far as temperatures going. Not only is it Chuck Day with that, it's no socks and Chuck's Day, Pat. That's good right. Weather, and that's a weatherman who knows when to wash his car. All right.
And where is Chuck's with no socks? All right, thanks, Garth. The Disneyland Resort is celebrating Woody, Buzz, and all things Pixar this year with Pixar Fest. Be sure to watch CBS2 News from 4:30 to 7 tomorrow morning. We'll reveal your secret code word so you can enter to win a 4-pack of tickets. Well, turns out the future princess got some local training for her new royal life.
From Pasadena to London, coming up, we'll take you to the royal wedding celebration.
Cheers. Plus, Justin Turner makes his season debut for the Dodgers tonight in Miami. Jim Hill has that and a lot more ahead in sports. And here's a look at the guests tonight on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert.